Welcome to the Built to Win podcast, a show about entrepreneurs, their journeys, how they turn their dreams into reality. Today I've got my friend David Rivero, entrepreneur, investor, has done over 300 million in e-com. He is literally the man, has mentored some of the top entrepreneurs that you know. David, welcome to the show, man.
Brian, what's happening?
Hey, man, we out here, buddy.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. So basically what we do typically to start off the conversation is figure out where it all started. We know where you are right now, but where did it start? Where are you from?
I'm from LA. I was born and raised in Glendale, California.
Okay, Glendale.
And I lived in La Crescenta. I went to La Cañada High School.
All right.
And the funny thing is when I lived in La Crescenta and I got recruited to go to La Cañada High School because I was a good soccer player.
Yes, so those that don't know, La Cañada is a nice area.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's very nice. And my family couldn't afford it, right? So we lived in the city over, but I was a really damn good soccer player. So the varsity high school coach recruited me, gave me a fake address to live in La Cañada. I didn't live there, so I was pretending I was living with this rich white family, which I didn't, but that's how I was able to go to this really good school.
Nice. All right, so you're in La Cañada, Flint Ridge School.
Yeah.
Killing everybody in soccer.
Yep. Got a soccer scholarship.
There you go.
I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Nice.
Went to SLO and did all that, right? And in high school, I wasn't really a very good student. Mm-hmm. College, I buckled down and got really serious and did the whole college thing. It was fun. And then after that, I went to Bolivia and played soccer professionally.
Nice.
And I tore tendons and ligaments in my ankle when I went over there.
Okay. Well, let me rewind a little bit. When you were in SLO, what was your degree in?
Finance. I was a finance major.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I majored in finance. I was always good with numbers and math, right? So I did that. That's where that was my concentration in college. Went to Bolivia, played soccer, got injured, came back, got a job in corporate America. And you're going to laugh at this. Mm-hmm. My very first job out of college, I got fired.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I went to work on a weekend because I was a recruiter. I worked for Robert Half International.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
It was a staffing firm. I went on a weekend to get leads because I wanted to make more sales because our sales manager would always give us the leads on Monday. So I went on a weekend to get the leads so I could get them before everyone else.
Yes.
So I could make money, right? And he happened to be in there that day. And he found out what I was doing. He got pissed off and fired me for being aggressive and trying to get leads. That's my first job out of college. I got fired.
Wow. Okay.
And guess what I did after that?
Talk to me.
I went out to Hollywood with my friends,
Yes.
pissed off because I got fired,
Got loaded.
got loaded,
Yes.
got pulled over, got a DUI, and went to jail.
Okay.
And I stayed the night in jail, and I didn't get released till the following day. So my very first job out of college, got fired, got a DUI, and went to jail. And now I feel like I'm like this small.
Yes.
Right? So it wasn't a good start to my career, I guess you could say.
But the reality is, the reality is you still had who you are as a person. So after you get out of jail that night, what are you thinking? Or or the next morning, I should say.
It's funny because I was at the rock bottom and I felt awful because I was in there with like gang members and just, in jail, there's no bathrooms. They put a toilet and everyone could see you piss and crap and do whatever, right?
Yes.
So no one uses the bathroom,
Yes.
right? And no one sleeps because you're scared to get choked to death or stabbed or whatever, right?
Yes.
So it's scary. But during that time, I couldn't sleep. And I was like, a wake-up call happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to work for anybody because I just got fired. I'm the hardest working guy there. I get fired to try to be aggressive. Corporate America is not for me.
Yeah.
And it was just a wake-up call when I got out. I was at my rock bottom. And I'm like, I need to start a business. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was doing. I mean, I didn't know what business at that time. I had no clue. But I was like, I need to start. It was a wake-up call that corporate America is not going to be for me.
Yeah.
So, I lived in my little apartment and tried all these different businesses and failed at all of them. I started a salsasearch.com.
Right.
Well, I was a good salsa dancer. I was good at dancing,
Yes.
right? And it was my passion. I liked doing it at that time, right?
So I thought, hey, I bet there's a lot of people who want to get into salsa like I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. So
There's
I
a
was,
need.
and mainly because I wanted to be with girls. I was like, if I'm a good dancer, I could probably get any girl I want. I could be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking when you're young, when you're in your 20s, right? I was like, salsa, I'll have some fun, I'll meet girls, I'll make money. Wow, best of all worlds.
Yes.
That website made no money. I built a directory. I thought I was going to get all these salsa instructors and companies that I would advertise their stuff on my website. I'd build this big directory. Salsa Search, a huge directory. Never made any damn money, right? And so I'm like, okay, that failed. And then I tried all these other businesses. I knew about, how I was a finance major in college
Yes.
at SLO. My brother was a CPA. So I had my brother write me all these tax deductions, tax loopholes, all these tax secrets, right? Give me all the crazy good tax deductions that no one knows about, and I'm going to write an ebook on it and sell it online.
Yes.
So I did that, and that didn't make any money. So I tried all these different little business. I started a translation business back then. There was no Google Translate. So translation, you actually had to have humans do it, right? So I tried to start a translation interpretation business. That failed. That didn't make any money. So I just tried all these different things.
It's amazing.
And but the thing about all these failures is I learned what doesn't work
In every single one.
in every one. So I was like, and I finally, and then I started learning. And then what I learned from all those failures is like, you just got to keep on fighting through and don't give up. I could have gave up on all those failures and go get a job. Go get a job. And guess what? That's what my mom and dad were telling me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, David, you got a college degree. You're losing money on all these businesses. Go get a job. And I'm like, Mom, I'll figure it out. Dad, I'll figure it out. And it took me years.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's just, you're going to have your trial and errors. You're going to fail. And I finally, the unfortunate thing, I'm thinking I'm going to get to the other side and I'm going to start making money. I'm like, I got it. And then I got in huge credit card debt,
Yeah.
right? Huge credit card debt. And guess what happened?
Well, you had to take a BK.
I went bankrupt.
Yeah.
So I went Chapter 7 BK. And I had no money, had no credit cards, zero money, no assets, nothing to my name. I couldn't pay my rent, so I had to cut my lease out, right? I went Chapter 7, and guess what I had to do? I had to knock on my mom and dad's door and go, Mommy and Daddy, I need to frickin' move back in because I have frickin' no money. I have nothing, Mom and Dad. And they're like, of course, they love their son, right?
Yes.
So they're going to take me in because they love me. But I couldn't afford rent. I had no frickin' money. And my mom and dad took me in.
Yeah.
So that was a savior. I mean, I thank my mom and dad every day for that, right? They could have said, no, figure it out. And they're like, no, they took me in.
Perfect. One of the things that I really want to kind of hammer in on is throughout these failures, you still had your family as a rock. One of the things I don't know, what's the background? Where are your parents from?
Great question. My parents are Bolivian.
Okay.
So my parents came from Bolivia,
Yes.
from South America, and then had me and my brother and I here
Okay.
in the States. All right, so me and my brother were both born here. My parents, just didn't speak any English when they came here, right? They speak Spanish in Bolivia. And so when they came here, they had the worst jobs.
Yeah.
They were the house cleaners.
Yep.
They worked at 31 Flavors scooping ice cream.
Yep.
Like the worst jobs, right? And school was tough for me at the beginning because my parents couldn't teach me anything, right? Well, just imagine you're in elementary school, junior high, and their English is really bad.
Yes.
So I couldn't learn from my mom and dad, right? So
Couldn't learn English.
English,
Yes.
right? And so when I was in school, when I was young, school was very hard for me,
Yes.
right? Because
Second language.
it was right, and my parents couldn't teach me anything. Like when I had homework, they couldn't, and my parents didn't have money to go get a tutor, right?
Exactly.
So I did really bad in school when I was young.
Yeah.
But what my parents did teach me was freaking work ethic.
Perseverance.
My parents, I was a disciplined kid because my dad was in the military. My dad was a captain in the military. And that's how he was able to come to the United States. He got a scholarship because he was so good in Bolivia as a captain. They gave him a scholarship to come here in America. And then he never went back. He stayed, right?
Yeah.
And
So did he go to college as well here?
no, he went over there in Bolivia. So, but he got recruited because he was so talented. He got
He was so
recruited to come here.
educated to come here.
Yeah, right. But he just worked here. He just got a job. Same with my mom. Both of them didn't go to college. So my parents didn't go to college here. They just worked and got those awful jobs. But as their English got a little better, my mom got a job as a loan officer at a credit union. And my dad worked at a bank doing tech. Just basic stuff, you know? Not like hardcore tech, just basic little stuff, right?
Like IT support, things
Like
like
IT,
that. MIS.
like little stuff, right? How to turn on a computer, restart a computer, basic stuff, right? But they started making a little bit or more money, right? But what my parents did teach me, because they both worked. It wasn't like, oh, mom stayed at home. Mom and dad both worked, right? And my dad was such a disciplinary man and my mom, they were both the same. We had to do our chores every day. I had to make my bed. I had to do the dishes. I had to clean the leaves. The house had to be, we used to have a duster. We had to dust with a rag. There'd be no dust in the house. It was like crazy. My mom and dad was like, you're not going to go ride your skateboard. You're not going to go play soccer. You're not going to go play baseball. This needs to all get done.
Those things are complete.
Yeah. And you're not going to go play with your friends until your homework's done.
Yeah. So they built in the habit.
They built in like that 100%.
Yes.
That's what I love about my parents. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without that discipline and that. Till this day, I'm very clean because of my mom.
Yeah.
My mom was like, this house needs to be freaking clean. Yeah. So just growing up, when I was in college with my friends or when I lived on my own, my house now is clean. It's just you can attest. You've been there, right? So it's just, you learn these things. It's funny when you're a child, you don't appreciate them.
They don't go away.
Yeah, but it's a habit now.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So jumping back in, now we understand kind of the things that propelled you, even though you were hitting speed bump after speed bump after speed bump. So now you're there. So what's the first success? What's the first positive thing that we get to?
Okay, so I'm living with my mom and dad, broke, just went BK, no credit cards. And by the way, at that time, all my friends were buying their first home, buying their brand new cars, Mercedes. I'm broke, no assets, living at home. I'm like, people are like making fun of me, right? Which is kind of sad, right?
Yeah.
My relatives like, Dave, all your friends are buying homes and new cars. You're like living with mom and dad and have nothing. So it was kind of like motivating, right? It was kind of like, I'm going to prove all these goddamn people that I'm going to be freaking richer than them. Yeah. You know, it was just like I'm very competitive. I was a soccer player, right? I was like, I know I can do this, you know? And my mom and dad didn't have faith in me, unfortunately, right? Yeah. Because they're old school. It's not their fault.
No.
They're old school, traditional. Hey, you got a college degree, go get a job. Yeah. That's what we've all been taught growing up, right?
100%. That is the program.
That's the program. Go to school, get a bachelor's degree, and go get a job. Yes. And that's what they wanted me to do. I go, Mom, that job I got fired from my job, right? I go, that's not secure either. The only way I'm ever going to be secure is if I have my own business. I'm not going to fire myself, Mom and Dad, right? So I was starting all these different businesses, but I didn't have any money. So I couldn't really start a business, right? It's hard to start a business when you don't have any money.
When you're not capitalized.
So let me tell you the secret sauce.
Yes.
I became an affiliate. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, please explain.
Okay, so an affiliate is when you market other people's products and services. You don't own the product or service. So let's say you have a watch company, right? So you have your own watch brand, right? I don't own the watches, but I'm going to market your brand of watches, right? Yeah. And every time I sell a watch, the company that owns this brand is going to pay me commission. And that's what I did because I didn't have any money. I couldn't afford to start a business, but I can market other people's products and services and make commission. Yeah. That doesn't cost me any money. That's just me talking to people, running some ads online, learning, you know what I mean? And that's what I did. So I started as an affiliate to all these different products and services and didn't do very well at the beginning. And then I started marketing a male enhancement product.
Okay.
Okay. Funny enough, that male enhancement product back then was like the Viagra, right? And every guy wants to, have be better there. Everyone wants to be better. There's not one man that doesn't want to be better. Yeah. So I was like, this is going to be a good product. So I started marketing it and it actually made sales. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is actually making me some money. So I was learning, and during this time I was learning about online marketing. And back then, SEO was free. You didn't have to spend money on ads. If you knew how to write meta tags and titles and descriptions, I didn't have to spend $1 on ads. I could just SEO rank my pages and be clever at it and build a whole bunch of, it was called gateway pages, doorway pages, meaning what they call it now are blogs, right? So I would have one website, but I would have like 500 male enhancement pages, but they'd all be indexed on the search engines. Yeah. So on Yahoo, on MSN back then. So when you type in male enhancement or dick pill or penis pill, my site would come up. And I would just be, and this is free advertising because it's just SEO. And I'd just be making all these sales and all pure profit. It was just me, hard work, writing the blogs. It's just writing. There was no AI back then. I can't go, hey, write me 180 pages. I actually had to work all day, all night, sleep 4 or 5 hours a day, and just write. And I'm a bad writer. I'm awful. Yeah. But I know how to write a headline. Do you want this bigger? And show a picture of, you know what I mean? Yes. And you could just be, I was creative, right? And I would start making sales. And it started making money. And I was like, holy crap, this makes money. And then when I was making money, I told the company that I want them to pay me more commission because I was their top sales guy. I was crushing it. And the guy's like, no, we're not going to pay you more commission. That was a blessing.
So funny. We have similar stories.
Yeah, similar story to you. Yeah. So that's being an affiliate. And as I wanted more company from this company because I was their top seller, they said no. And that pissed me off. I'm like, I'm making like 80% of your revenue and you're not going to pay me more? That's what I'm thinking in the back of the head. So in the back of my head, I'm like, F you. I'm going to start my own goddamn product. I'm making money now. I'm going to save up. When I have enough money, I'm going to start my own product. So I just kept on making more money, saving up this little piggy bank. Yeah. And I'm like, once I have enough, I'm going to start my own freaking product. And then I got to a point where I had enough money saved from making as an affiliate. I started my one product. And after I started that one product, after about 12 months, they actually went out of business because I was the one doing all the sales. I controlled all the search engines because I knew how to market online.
You were the engine.
I was the engine.
Correct.
So they went out of business. I'm crushing it on male enhancement pills. Yes. And then I told my friend who's a really good marketer, he was marketing adult stuff. But he was big in adult, but he was a great marketer too. And I go, dude, his name's Gary McNally. He's my current business partner. Yeah. I go, Gary, you need to try marketing this. He's like, no, dude, I'm not going to market a male enhancement product. I'm like, trust me, bro. It's going to make you money. He's like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So in one weekend, he marketed the product. He sent an email list to it. He made $60,000 in one day. Yeah. He's all, David, we're going to become business partners. Because back then, $60,000 in one day is like making $1 million in a day today. That's like the equivalency of what money was back then. Yeah. So it was a lot of money, right? And he's like, we're business partners.
It was essentially pure profit.
It was pure profit. Yeah. It was an email list, 60,000 net profit, right? So it was crazy. We became business partners. And then we started an affiliate program. We're like, let's get a whole bunch of affiliates. This is how we made our money. Let's build an army of affiliates and have everyone market our male enhancement product. So then we built out an affiliate network, me and Gary, and we had thousands of affiliates marketing male enhancement. We were crushing it. And then obviously I was making money. Mom, dad, I bought my house in my 20s. And my mom, I bought, I'm buying a Rolls Royce. I bought a 60-foot yacht. I was buying Mercedes, BMWs. I was, doing all this stuff, right?
Yes.
And my parents are all proud of me now. I told you, Mom, you had to be patient, right? And then what I've learned, this is a very valuable lesson that I want to teach the audience. Just because you're doing good doesn't mean nothing lasts forever, right? I don't care what business or product or service you're in, nothing lasts forever, meaning eventually a product or service kind of dies down and it's not that sexy anymore, right? And that product just wasn't that big anymore, right? And it was making money, but not that big. And I also, what the major problem was, laws change, regulations change. A law called CAN spam. CAN spam is a law back then where you couldn't do email marketing anymore, or you were going to get sued $10,000 per fine per email.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much if you send out 100 emails, you're going to go out of business, right? So we couldn't email anymore, and that's how we made all of our money. We were doing huge email campaigns and SEO wasn't working. Email campaigns weren't working anymore. And now I'm like, me and Gary have this business and nothing's making really money anymore. So we kind of had to reinvent ourselves. We like, okay, we can't just count on these two things. We had to learn pay-per-click advertising, which is Google. We learned how to run ads. And that's what we had to do now because everyone was doing SEO back then and the whole page would be just gobbled up with tons of different people. So that wasn't working. So things stopped working. We stopped making money. So we had to reinvent ourselves and learn pay-per-click advertising.
Okay.
Right? And not have all our eggs in one basket. But at that time, I was like, my bank account was going down and down and down. And I had all, I bought a yacht. I bought a Rolls Royce. I had a Mercedes. All these toys you do when you're young and dumb, right? You buy all these things. You live outside your means. And money's not there. Me and Gary are freaking out going, dude, we spent all our money. And now sales are down. Yep. And we had to reinvent ourselves. We had to learn pay-per-click advertising.
So you essentially went from your earning season back to your learning season.
Correct.
You needed to start all over at the
we were making money again.
Yeah.
And it was like awful. I was terrified again. I'm like, I can't go BK again. Yeah. I can't sell all these assets and just have no money again. So you have to, as an entrepreneur, you got to keep on reinventing yourself and learning.
Iterations. Yeah.
And then we learned pay-per-click advertising, right? And then, okay, we started making money again, right? But as you go up and down, you're going to have, what I've learned as an entrepreneur, you can't rely on one source for revenue. And now I rely on everything. I don't just do PPC marketing, right? That's what saved me. But after that, I learned, okay, I'm going to do email. I'm going to do SMS. I'm going to do pay-per-click advertising. I'm going to do social media. I'm going to do everything. Because now if one category fails, the other one will make money.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. So it's just diversifying where your marketing dollars are.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm kind of interested in, you have your partner and you all are going through these things. How did you stay mentally resilient through this?
Great question. He's had up and downs just like I did, right? And going through a BK, going through moving in back with your parents, going in through our company thinking we're going to do well and crashes and burns, all my failures. I've learned that you just gotta keep on fighting through, and if you push through, you'll eventually get through. And it doesn't. What I've learned, nothing takes as fast as you want it to be. Everything is always twice as long. If you think, I'm going to be a millionaire in 1 year, it's going to take 2 years. If you think you're going to do $100,000 a month, you're going to do $50,000 a month. Yeah. It's just everything always takes twice as long. That's what I always add a 2 and everything. Oh, hey, Dave, we'll have this done next week. I'm like, okay, it'll be done in 2 weeks.
It's also a way to measure your expectations as well.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate that I come from, like, I have a very supportive family, right? And just I got that from my dad, just the work ethic. And I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I will outwork you.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's me. I've just been a workhorse.
Perfect. So we've done that. We PPC. Now we're rocking and rolling. What are the next kind of wins, and then what are we doing in terms of creating impact? Because I know those are the things that you're very interested in. As
Okay.
well.
So as I started making money again, business is good. First thing I did was retire my mom and dad. So about 15 years or so ago, I retired my mom and dad. I bought them a home. I go, Mom and Dad, stop working, and I put my mom and dad on payroll. They are my highest paid employees, and they did nothing. So they had a salary every 2 weeks. They were on payroll. I bought them a home. They had no mortgage. They had no bills. They had nothing. And that was my number one thing, was to retire my mom and dad and take care of them financially. So my parents haven't worried about money over 15 years. I haven't even thought about money.
That's a beautiful thing.
They travel the world. I fly them all around the world. They've been to, like, I think 100 countries. So I've traveled them, flown them everywhere. They've just lived a great life, right?
Yes.
Because I'm giving back to my mom and dad what I wouldn't have what I had if it wasn't for what they instilled in me. The foundation they gave me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I love
So that's number one thing I did. And then I started a scholarship program for family in Bolivia, because that's where my family's from. And I would give like 35 kids a year scholarship money.
Yeah.
I did that for about 7 years.
Yeah.
So every year I would give scholarship money. I would fly to Bolivia, and they would have to present, they have to earn their scholarship, because I'm all about earning, right?
Yeah.
So 100 people would apply, and I would pick 35,
Yeah.
right? And they would have to submit me how they were doing in school, why are they deserving it, what are they going to do with the money. So then I would evaluate all these people that are applying for the scholarship, and I would pick about 35 every year.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand the impact, the business. What is the legacy of David Rivero?
Not a funny story. This is the reason I'm all about legacy. The reason I'm here right now talking to you is all about legacy. Everything I do is about legacy. That's my whole mindset in life and business. And that's why I do the scholarships. That's why I take care of my parents. But legacy to me, and the reason where I got legacy was Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant died, okay, I cried all day in my living room. I'm getting teared up right now. I've never met this man in my life. I've never shook his hand. I went to Laker games all the time. I saw him on the floor. I watched him play. I watched him on TV all the time, right? I've never shaken his hand or ever met him in my life, right? And when he died that day, I cried all day. It was raining that day. It was overcast at my house. And I was freaking crying in my living room, calling my brother and my friends going, I can't believe freaking Kobe's dead. And when I'm tearing up right now, and this is a man I've never met. And I'm like, that's legacy. When you could touch someone's life like he touched mine, and I've never even met the guy, that's legacy. And then when he went to his funeral at Staples Center, and he had 20,000 people that went to his funeral, plus the millions of people that were watching this on television like I did, that's a legacy. Where he changed people's lives that he never even met. And that's what I'm about, right? I want to start a lot of businesses. I've had thousands of employees throughout my years. I pay salaries every 2 weeks. I have lots of employees all around the world. And my job is to keep my businesses making a lot of money so I could keep on supporting their families and them, right? So having lots of employees, you know, I've had thousands of employees. I want to have more, right? So I want to take care of them. That's one part. But now, recently, I just got on social media within the last a little over a year. And I started posting. And I just post free content every day. I'm not one of those guys trying to sell you a course. Hey, take my course. I'll charge you $10,000 or $3,000. None of that bullshit. I provide free value, free content every day. And if I could change people's lives, and my goal is to have a huge audience and give out free value every day. And when I die, I want to be like Kobe. I want millions of people to go, goddamn, David Rivero. I listened to his little posts on social media, or I worked for David Rivero, or he gave to me for a scholarship or this charity or all, and he's impacted my life. I got one tip from him and now my business is doing great. Or he gave me one introduction to someone and now my life is completely changed. That's what I want.
I love it. I love it. I don't even know where we go from there except for that's dope.
Yeah.
What is next for David Rivero besides that huge impact that you're going to have, that you're having right now?
That's my legacy. That's my goal, right? My right now,
You're living that.
I'm living it. So what I've learned in life, like, do what you love. And me providing free value to people every day. And I started a Mastermind networking event in my home 5 months ago. Yep. And the main reason I love it, I don't make money on this thing. You know, it's a break even or a loss, right? Because there's expenses, right? Yeah. And I give a ton of free tickets to people, right? Because I just want people to come, right? So I love that because I'm putting 150 people at my home once a month, right? People can network and do business together and make money. I don't want $1 from it. I just want, David, thank you for connecting me with that guy. It's changed my life. If I get that one email or that one text message, I'm going to be the happiest freaking guy in town.
I love it.
That's what makes me happy, right? So I love putting that on. I'm going to do that until I die. I love that Mastermind networking event because it provides so much value to people, right? And then we have speakers that are all smart and sharp, and they're providing value, and there's networking. It's like the best of both worlds, right? You got people educating, you got people networking. I freaking love it. And that's just something I just started 5 months ago. I'm super passionate about it. It doesn't need to make money. It just needs to provide value.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah.
Growth talks. That's what it is.
Yeah, the growth talks.
Yes. So I wanted to really just understand, because you're so disciplined, talking about your dad being in the military when he was in school. Like, what did he do when he was in college in Bolivia?
Well, my dad was, funny enough, he was super disciplined, but he also, by the way, he was a singer. And he used to serenade women, which is funny as hell.
Yes.
He would serenade women because he was like a romantic.
Yes.
Right? So he was a captain in the military, a singer, a romantic, but just a freaking machine when it came to discipline. Like, he was a guy that, when he was in America working, he never missed 1 day of work in 25 years. Not 1 day of work. If he was sick, puking, he would go to work. Yeah. Never missed 1 day. Mm-hmm. And I got that from my dad. And my businesses, you probably don't believe me, I've never missed 1 day of goddamn work in my life. Yeah. Ever. Yeah. Ever.
I believe it.
Never.
I believe it. I grew up the same way with my father. So when going back, and it's something that I don't talk about a lot. I just saw this movie, and it's freaking great. My parents are from Arkansas, so it's not Bolivia.
Yeah.
But my grandparents have fourth grade education. Great grandparents are sharecroppers. So my dad's great grandparents were slaves. That's America.
Yeah.
So they're very, very driven, and very education. So imagine my mom's parents had fourth grade education. There's 10 of them, and they all have college degrees or upper degrees.
Yeah.
So I've got judges, attorneys, all of this in the family,
Wow.
and it is a huge driver in our family. But one of the things that you said that's real is the program of go to college, go get a job. But that job, that old security that they had in the 60s, 70s, 80s, kind of the 90s,
Yeah.
is not a reality now. And so that's the thing that I've been pushing is you've got to go out and figure out who you are and what it is that drives you, what your superpower is, and then just lean into that.
It's funny you mentioned that, right? Because I went to college, right?
Yep.
And I got my bachelor's degree, and I tell people now, I go, college isn't that damn important.
Yep.
And I went to college, so I'm saying it from a good point of view. Like if I didn't go to college and I'm saying that, it's like, hey, you didn't go to college, so you don't know
anything.
right?
Exactly.
But I did go to college.
Yep.
I did get my bachelor's degree, right? And now times have changed, right? I've hired thousands of employees. I don't even look in their resume if they went to college. I honestly don't care. All I care about is experience. If I'm looking for an accountant or a salesperson, how many years experience do you have? I don't care if you went to UCLA, Harvard. I honestly don't care. So to me now, a college degree means practically nothing to me. For all my employees that I've ever hired, doesn't mean a damn thing to me anymore. So now it's do what you're good at.
Correct.
I tell people, develop a skill, and if you're passionate about it, do it.
Yes.
Because if you're passionate about it and you're good, that's the best of both worlds,
The sky's the limit.
right? And that's what I tell people now. College, I know, I plan on my kids when they grow up that they're going to be millionaires probably when they're 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have so much knowledge in them,
Correct.
Hopefully they take my knowledge and do something with it, which I have my dad's disciplinary rules.
Yeah. So it's funny is I've got 3 kids. You don't have kids yet. I don't believe. Do you have kids?
I have 25 kids.
Oh wow.
That's checking.
I actually have a Filipino friend that does have that many kids. I was
really?
like, oh, yes.
Call me Elon Musk.
You'll meet him at the Thursday dinner.
Oh, okay, good. Elon Musk has I think 11 kids or something, 12 kids or something,
Yeah.
crazy. He's got a lot of kids.
Yeah. So I've got 3, and that's one of the things. Like I talk to my kids like adults. I have real conversations with them. I tell them about my upbringing. My dad, as you know, like you have a disciplinarian, and I would assume you're South American, so it's probably similar to being raised as black.
Yeah.
Is we got whoopings, and so
I have a funny story about that.
those things growing up, like I told my kids, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that to you.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I believe is my dad was never taught how to communicate with kids, and I was like, and I'm going to do that with you. We're gonna figure out what's going on, why you're doing it, and how we can change what you're doing. And then if you don't change it, then that means I need to change what I'm saying to you, how I'm disciplining you, because it has to resonate with you as to what's going on.
Yeah.
And so far it's worked. Sometimes they are bananas because they are kids, and kids are supposed to be kids. But the blessing that we have is when we're around people that are like, oh my God, your kids are so nice. They're so kind to all of the other kids, and they're so smart. They're doing the right things. And so we're hard on them.
Makes you a proud dad.
It does. We're hard on them as we're supposed to be, but we're supposed to be programming the next generation.
Yeah.
But you talked about leaning into what you're really good at. What I have seen from you is not only are you really good at marketing, but you're also good at mentoring people. So before we went on camera, you said that you mentored someone that a lot of people know is Ty Lopez.
Yeah, like Ty Lopez back in the day.
Yeah.
Before he was making money, right? And he was kind of just starting out. He would come to our office, my business partner Gary and I. He would call us, pick our brains all the time, and just always ask for advice. I actually, probably about 6 months ago, he was calling me because he bought a muscle company, right? I think it's Muscle Building.com.
Musclebuilding.com. Yep.
Right? And he was, because I sell health and beauty, health and beauty products.com. I sell health and beauty products and manufacture health and beauty. So he was calling me to pick my brain regarding, hey man, what product should I upsell with this? I'm going to start marketing this. What product should I upsell? What product should I cross sell? And he's calling me on a conference call with his team in the background on a speakerphone, right? And I'm giving him advice. Hey, you should match this product, because I know that stuff, right? I know health and beauty. And, he'd always pick our brains regarding merchant processing. Where should I get my merchant processing? We'd help him on that. Just different things throughout the years. He would always, that's where Ty is super smart, right? Which I wish I would have learned from Ty. Ty is very good at getting people that are smarter than him to help him grow.
Yes.
Right? He gets the most amazing mentors and learns from all these smart people, which makes him super smart. Ty's a very sharp guy. He's no dummy. He's a smart, freaking one of the smartest guys I know, right? And he's so smart because he gets these mentors to teach him.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't do. And that's what I wish I would have done when I was younger. I learned everything. Me and Gary learned everything on our own by trial and error.
There you go.
We're like, I'm going to do it the old school way. I don't need anyone's help. If I would have got mentors, who knows where I would be right now, right? I'd be scared where I'd be right now. Who knows?
Yeah.
I might be Mark Zuckerberg. I might be Elon Musk if I would have got mentored by successful people when I was young. So don't do what I did and try to do it on your own. Get mentors and learn faster, right? So you don't make those mistakes.
Correct.
So that's one of the reasons why I started the Growth Talks and I post on social media, because I want people to learn from all my experiences, all my mistakes. Don't do this, do this. So that's, that's Ty Lopez. He would have, it's funny, Ty Lopez would have an event at his home every week in Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
And he would always text all of us. He would say, hey, come to this event. I'm having people over. And there was a big group of us that were all friends, right? We were friends with Ty. And we were like, God, he's annoying us, but he would get us to go.
Yes.
Right? But he was smart. He would put all these smart people in a room together, networking, and he would get mentored by all these smart people. So it was a genius move back then, but now I'm thinking about it, I was just getting annoyed, and I was like, that was actually very smart. He put all these successful people in the room, and he kept on learning from all these smart people.
Yeah, and I would assume they're all from differing markets and kind of product offerings.
100%.
Yeah, I love it. So as we're going in, marketing, before you said you have a lot of other companies. So my assumption is marketing is not the only thing that you're focused in.
Great question. So I own a fulfillment center. So we're like Amazon. We warehouse and ship products all around the world. We ship them to 217 countries around the world. We have a location here in Pacoima, California, and one in London and one in Australia. Okay. So we ship all around the globe, and we're like Amazon. So if you have, let's say you sell watches or tennis shoes, we're going to warehouse your tennis shoes and your watches at our fulfillment center, and then we're going to ship them to your customers when they buy them online. Just like Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Amazon has all these different clients. They warehouse all their products. When someone buys something on Amazon, they ship it to them.
Yeah.
We do the exact same thing. So I own a fulfillment center. I've owned that for over a decade. Does very well. I own a call center. So guess what? When you call your airline or your credit card and you talk to a live agent on the phone, you might be talking to one of my agents. We do customer support, phone support, email support, chat support, all that stuff, right? So, and then we do manufacturing. We manufacture health and beauty products. I own a shipping insurance business. As you can see, something I want to teach your audience is this. You always want to start an ecosystem or ecosystem, however you want to pronounce it. And let me explain what an ecosystem is. It's starting a businesses that are related, kind of like real estate, right? I'll give you an example of real estate. Real estate, mortgage loans, title, and escrow. With that, those four businesses are all in the real estate area, right?
Yep.
But they all could feed each other business, which is great. So if you have a customer for loans, you could get them for title. If you have a customer for real estate, you could get them for escrow. Or they all could feed each other business, right? And that's called an ecosystem. And that's how I've made a lot of my money. Because my call center feeds my fulfillment business. My marketing business feeds my call center and my fulfillment business. My shipping insurance business, when you're shipping a product, you want to insure it. It feeds that business. You see how manufacturing, you want your own health and beauty product, we'll manufacture it, we'll warehouse it, we'll ship it to your customer, we'll do your customer service. So one client could potentially be 4 clients.
Correct.
Right? That's called an ecosystem. And I advise whatever business you're in, build an ecosystem. Build things in the relatable field that you can cross-sell and upsell and make more money off the same client.
Yeah. One of the things that I caution entrepreneurs, just because of one of my missteps, is doing that is exactly what you want to do. But you want a sequence. You want to get one up running, cash flowing,
100%.
not causing any headaches, and then move to the other one. So I did the exact same thing. I'm in technology, started in telecom. I knew early on that basic analog lines were going to go away. So I was like, oh, I'm going to start selling everyone firewalls, because eventually people are going to go to voice over IP and we'll just have a managed services business. So phone systems, then managed services, then voice over IP, and then you're doing them all together. And the one thing that I will also harp on, you're a hard worker. I'm a hard worker based on how we were raised. Everyone doesn't have our work ethic. That was a learned thing that I had to get to. We'll do whatever it takes to get stuff done.
Yeah.
But most people who are employees, they're there to work.
And great point. Employees shouldn't work like you and me because they're not an owner.
Correct.
And that's what owners need to learn.
Yep.
I've learned that recently, right? I wish I would have known that earlier.
Yep.
Because I was hard on my employees. But as I've gotten older, I've learned that they're not the owner. They're an employee, and they should only do their job.
Correct.
Because they're not getting profit sharing. They're not earning all the money, right? They're getting paid to do a job, and that's all they should do.
Yep.
Of course, you're going to have your all-star employees that go above and beyond. But guess what? Those are the ones you probably take care of more.
Yeah.
Right? So now in life, I don't expect my employees to have my work ethic.
No.
I work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day, every day. And I've been like this for 15, 20 years. I haven't taken a day off. I don't even know what a day off is. I'll go on vacation on let's say I go to Mexico. I'm still going to be working there when I wake up in the morning on my laptop or on my phone. I could be traveling. I could be in Italy. I will be working in Italy.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm always working. I never turn off.
But the thing about you, and again, it's how we've been programmed, is that's the joy that we get out of it. That work for us is not work. And again, I believed younger in my journey that everyone had that joy de vivre. They all enjoyed it. And that's why I said some people you're going to have, and you hit the nail on the head. Some employees that you're going to have are going to be excited about getting up and coming to work just like you.
Yeah.
And others, they're their work. And you should not judge them
Correct.
for them just coming to work. I had an amazing tech. And I was like, I'm gonna make this guy a manager. I had already run up in my mind his levels of he was gonna level up. And he was like, no, I just point me to the wall. Like, I'm here to work. I'm here to knock walls down, pull cables, and go home and kick it with my family. And I was like, no, but I want to teach you how to manage. I want to teach you no, I'm not interested in any of that. And so those are the things that I talk about, is like just learning lessons of really respecting people for where they are, where their lever is, and just running with that.
And that's the key of being a good leader.
Yep.
Right? You got to, it's like owning a sports team. You got to put people in position to succeed.
Correct.
You're not going to put Messi as a goalkeeper,
No.
right? He's a freaking finisher, right?
Yeah.
So it's, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, we need to put people in areas that, number one, they enjoy, right? And that they're good at. Those are the two keys.
Yeah.
And if the ones that want to put in the extra work, you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll see them do it. And the ones that don't, you're like, okay, this is an 8 to 5er, which is fine. As long as they work hard, though, that 8 to 5, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And there's going to be those ones that don't want to be an 8 to 5er. And this is a funny thing, because those ones that don't want to be an 8 to 5er, this is a happy medium. They're so good that they're going to go start their own business because you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
And which is okay. I lose good people all the time, but at least I had that good talent for that year or 2 years.
Yeah.
And when they leave for a better opportunity, I'm like, leave. Even though they're awesome, I'm hurt, but I'm like, there's a better opportunity out there for you.
Yeah.
I want the best for them.
Dude, you have to want the best. I had a guy at the same thing. Brought him in. I remember literally every step of the way. From he was making $20 an hour as a tech, working for someone else. I told him, come in, I'll pay you $35, $40. He's like, if you pay me $40, I'll kill for you. But he was.
That's where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, he is he was amazing tech, and we grew the business doing huge jobs throughout LA, infrastructure jobs and everything else. And he started to grow, and people came to him and was like, "Oh, I want you to come." And one of his first guys that taught him is like, "I want you to come. I'm going to retire. Someone's buying my company. I'm going to give you $250,000 and a truck, and you're going to have a percentage of the company. When I retire, you'll have the whole company." He came to me. He's like, "Listen, I don't want to leave, but I need you to give me $250,000." And I was like, "Listen, I love you. You should take that job."
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
like he's exceptional. But
Yeah.
at some point, you got to figure out where you are, where the business is, and then bless them and be okay with it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want those talented people,
Yes.
but those talented people, most of them are going to leave you.
They need to grow.
They need to grow and do their thing, and you got to be happy for them.
Yeah.
I have it's funny, one of my ex-employees, which I loved, and we're still good friends. And he messaged me recently, and he's like, he tagged me on a video the other day, and he's doing real estate now. And he was one of my top sales guys, and he was awesome. I was like, I'm going to mold this guy. He's going to be like my right-hand guy.
Yeah.
But he wanted to do real estate, and now he's killing it in real estate and doing great. But it was like, I was molding him to be like my right hand, and he left. But now we're friends, and we talk, and that's going to happen all the time.
Yeah.
And you got to let them go.
Yes.
And wish the best.
100%. What about, have you dealt with what some people have talked to me about is when you have the other side of the coin, the great ones that leave, and then the other ones that kind of work and then they leave and that try to take business and try to do these other things.
Happens all the time.
How do you mentally react to those things? How are you emotionally with those things?
Okay, so number one, I don't get mad because I'm already expecting it. Mm-hmm. One thing I've learned in business, I always expect theft. Mm-hmm. Every business I have, I always think, okay, if I was an employee, how can I steal from me? Yeah. Where are my holes? I got to block the holes, right? And if they still get in the holes, that's my fault.
Yeah.
And if someone were to leave and take my customer, that means I don't have a good relationship with my customer.
That's exactly right.
So it's my fault. And people don't take accountability, business owners.
I love it.
Me, I'm accountable. If my clients leave me for one of my sales reps starts his own business, that means I didn't have a good relationship with my clients.
That means you haven't served them.
He did.
Yeah.
Take them.
Yeah, they were meant for you.
You get me, right?
Yes,
so
100%.
I never get mad when I lose a client or two. I'm like my business partner was something, I can't be like, that's our fault, bro. We didn't talk to the client. When's the last time you messaged or text that client? Oh, it's been like a year. I go,
there you go.
They talk each other every week.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to go to? They're going to go to him.
Yeah.
It's our fault. So that's a wake-up call. And when you run a business, you got to be involved with your team. You got to find out what's your biggest clients. You need to talk to them. Yeah. Don't just like get the check every week when they send you a check. You need to actually build a relationship with them.
Correct.
So
I love everything that you talked about, man. One of the things that I would say, and I don't know if you have, but you remind me so much of Howard Behar, John Maxwell, just in terms of your leadership kind of thought processes. John Maxwell is a lot of service-based leadership based on God, but Howard Behar is just really thinking about your people first, and if you serve your people will serve your clients, your business will be fully served.
it's funny you mentioned this. Just, I'm the owner, but I work for my employees, not the other way around. That's how I lead. I work for them.
Yeah.
I'm not the boss. They're the boss, right? And that's how I roll. That's how I run all my companies. So I have, conference calls and trainings with some of my team, and I learn from them. I go, hey, team, what do you guys suggest we should do to solve this customer retention problem? And I let them, I don't go, hey, I'm the boss. I know everything. This is what you need to do. I get all my information from my team.
I love it.
And I make them, my job is to serve the team. My 1,000 employees that I've had all these years, I serve them, not the other way around.
You want to empower them.
Yeah, if you lead like that, those are the best leaders. And I never think I know everything. Even though I got tons of experience, I've done well, I try to learn Yesterday I was at a Thursday dinner, and I was sitting next to my buddy Ryan Ford, which you know.
Yep.
And I've been investing for 15 years. I have tons of money in the market, investments. But he does this every single day. That's what he does. He invests money. He has his own fund, right? And we were sitting next to each other, and he was teaching me about, hey, Dave, why don't you, invest in this? I'm like, I didn't even have thought of that. So he was teaching me things I'm not investing in currently that will pay me a higher return on my money, and that's safe. I'm like, thank you, right? So I'm learning things at a dinner yesterday. I learned things from my employees. I learned things from my freaking house cleaner, my pool man, my guy that comes and washes my car. I will learn from everybody.
Yes.
And I empower them. I want to learn from them. I'm like a sponge. I'm going to learn something from you today. On this talk, there's going to be something I learned that from freaking Brian. Yeah. Thank you.
I love it.
That's how you got to be as a leader. You got to be always looking to learn every day, right? Yep. Every day should be, how can I get smarter? What can I learn today? And what I do with my team, when I learn something, what do? I share it with my team.
There you go.
I go, hey, team, guess what I learned today? You guys could apply it to your clients. Here's something I learned. Oh, I'll read an article on something. I'll go, you guys, or I'll watch a TikTok video or a YouTube video, and I'll say, hey, you guys, watch this video. I just learned this. I share things that I learn with my team because I want them to learn as well.
Perfect, man. Appreciate you, Dave. Where can people find you on social?
It's on social, on Instagram. It's the David Rivero on Instagram. Yeah. The Grow Talks website is thegrowtalks.com. My website is davidrivero.com. I don't sell anything, but at least there you could kind of see the industries I'm in. But I would say mainly I'm on, just so you know, I'm on every platform. Yeah. I post on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I am a social media, I post everywhere. Because guess what? Some people are Twitter people. Some people are YouTube people. Some people are TikTok people. And that same message, I post on all platforms.
I love it. I love this conversation. I love what you're doing, man. It's been a blessing for me to have met you and a blessing for what's next.
I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Always remember, we are all built to win.